Okay, let's put this guy on his feet. Oh my god, this is the first time I'm seeing this guy like this. That is weird. Hi guys, my name is Baradante, and welcome back to Neonates, horror game characters creation process. So we continue and are almost finishing rigging basic enemies for our future horror game. And today we're gonna rig this final, somewhat complex character, because the rest are very simplistic. But yeah, let's start with this guy, the Cradle. I'm gonna move the beggar over here or something and create an empty armature because I have no idea where this is gonna go. Okay, we're definitely gonna have like an arm, that's clear. We're gonna have two almost legs, but there's gonna be no feet. So I probably shouldn't actually make them into legs. And the rest is actually pretty hard. Like this is a shell. This will be, well, maybe some shape keys, tops, like the egg yolk. So let's start with, with the arm. This is, right arm, so this one, and let's put this bad boy in place. So I remember learning from the last episode that I should really not mess too much with the orientation of the fingers. Also, we need to do it like that. I think this is the proper size. Okay, done with the positioning, now the axes. Okay, let's see how it performs. Rotate XX. Okay, the thumb is traveling. Oh, it's the opposite. Okay, so it needs to be 180 degrees. But this is almost great. But yeah, overall they're all kind of going forward. But the arm is kind of tilted a bit, the hand. They're like very consistent with that though. Can I select many of them? And oh yeah, I can. Cool. One controller to rule them all. And yeah, this one should be like that. Okay, now looking much more natural. Yeah, I think I like it. If anything, we can always come back and do more of this. Why is this blue color of controllers if this is the right arm? Right is usually red. Okay, this is looking fine. I'm not sure if I'll be using IK in here, but I keep saying that in all kinds of rigs, like with the beggar and everything, and always like it's still better to use IK. I just like IK. Of course, both of them are necessary, especially if you're using motion capture. I wonder if this will be useful. I think I'm gonna go with like my own bones for the rest. This was the most complex part, but in here I just literally need one stick, another stick, and in here as well. And as we know, with the legs of AutoRig Pro come the feet and everything, and that's not something I would need right now at all. Yeah, I just need this. That's all. By the way, right now it's so clear to me that this mesh, just the mesh of the knee, is gonna bend terribly. Right, also, can I force my will on the actual automated bone thing of AutoRig Pro and say that this thing should be like the center, in the center group of the bone groups? So you would have this color. This is the right leg, so it'll be... So right is blue. Thanks, I hate it. Just like Beat Saber all over again. Why is it like that? That's so wrong. Right is red, left is blue. Everyone knows that. Wasn't it like that before? I feel like this is the first time it happens. Okay, let's add the core bone, the root bone, the egg yolk bone. Should it be like here? Like, egg yolk itself doesn't mean anything, of course, in terms of the bone orientations and skeleton. So it's more like where the pelvis of these legs would be or something, maybe. I don't know. Really, like, up to me what the hell all of this means. Okay, now let's parent to the noggin, keep offset, match to rig, whatever that would mean. Yeah, most of the controllers are gonna be gone. So now I need to like create the controllers and such. So, like, I'm not sure if I need these bones visible anyway. I'll just need the IK or FK control. Yeah, that's one huge, like, massive argument towards using the presets, because I'm not making the IK-FK switch, no thank you. And I will need IK to just animate and FK to use motion capture, so I will need both. That makes it a very good point to use actual bones from the preset of legs. That's what's up. So I know this bone needs to go to this layer for sure. Maybe I'll make a pretty controller for it. I mean, we can replace with that, like, circle. CS sphere, and there's just a bunch of them there. And yeah, I can scale and do whatever I want with it. Like, something like this actually makes sense to me. Actually, I would even parent the hand to the pelvis, of course, because it's not gonna stick around independently all that much. I can simply replace that with my bone and clear and set inverse. And yeah, this bone definitely needs to be renamed. Pelvis, whatever. Now I need leg left. Yeah, a lot of stuff in here that I really don't need. But what you gonna do? So I'm gonna select all of these bones right here, and I'm gonna uncheck deform on them, like with Alt-Enter to make sure it's applied to all of them. So it wouldn't be bending the tip of my chopped off leg in there. Now the right one. Wait, can I do the dupli mirror? Because actually it's very close, right? Yeah, like doing at least 90% of work for me anyway. Oh, yeah, I can remove the fingers. That's pretty good. The toes, I mean. Okay, so now we have it looking like that. And I mean, nothing wrong with having the actual foot controller, because that's the IK controller. Still kind of need it. It can rotate and all, which I don't need, but I mean, it will control the pole direction. So that's all right. Yeah, set character name, Cradle. So yeah, parent, keep offset. So this is like... I wonder... Like, there's definitely a way to pin the knees. We'll need to, of course, skin right now. But yeah, pinning the knees is gonna be a big one, because he's like mostly walking on his knees, kinda. I wonder how exactly I can work with that. So how are we doing? Well, it does work. Ooh, something is actually not skinned at all for some reason. Where exactly is it? Just these polygons on both sides. What's up with that? That's such a strange glitch, don't you guys think? To just have something like some of the vertices not skinned at all. Why would automatic skinning not skin all of the vertices as the basic first rule to follow? I don't know, if I just hit normalize all, will that help? Because I'm not even sure how to deal with it, like the best way. So these deep blue polygons, yeah, they're not affected by either of these things. Well, I feel like it should belong to the museum, to this bendy, twisty bone of the leg. I'll use like average brush, something like that, I guess, in between the leg and everything. Oh, right, I forgot. I do have, like, the egg yolk. I thought, like, I'll use the default heat map skinning. Actually, I shouldn't be doing anything. I'll have to reskin right now. Because this thing is so not bending consistently. We saw it right in the weights here. If I select in here how red the egg yolk is, but how blue things around it are, which means like if I move like a shoulder, yeah, it's just completely separate. I have no interest in that kind of skinning. Unbind, and let's bind using voxelized. So this will be the first time I actually see a big difference, and instead of using manual voxelization method that I described in the previous episode of this. But one thing that this method should be very good at is making sure that even separate surfaces would deform from bones like they're single mesh, yeah, single surface like this. So there will be no inconsistencies like this if you use voxelized. And with characters like this, it's definitely a way to go here. Oh yeah, that is great. All right, what about the rest? I can see like the skinning on many things is pretty different. The glitch is still just there. That is so weird to me. Wow, it's interesting, like, these legs have poles that control the thing, and poles are controlled by rotating of the foot, but also you can just grab the thigh or whatever and rotate it individually. Like, it will still be parented by the pole, but you can also adjust the pose extra. Okay, let's put this guy on his feet. Oh my god, this is the first time I'm seeing this guy like this. That is weird. Man, I gotta say, this is quite something. Seeing your character move around, you really appreciate them as like a living something. It's kind of cool. Alright. By the way, incredibly impressed by the way knees bent. They're like, this is perfect. I couldn't possibly wish for more. I had no idea it would work so well. But yeah, one thing I'm thinking about right now, first of all, this is way dense and I should do something about it, but that's whatever, maybe later. But right now I'm thinking about applying this armature modifier on the mesh, so the shape of it would become just this by default. And then also apply, like, make this shape of this pose of the rig, apply it as the rest pose. So then I'll switch the whole character to this being its default pose. Because I kind of sculpted it on his knees and I feel like it was just kind of stupid. And what's cool about it is that after that I'll simply reapply the armature modifier, and all the vertex groups and all the weights will stay the same, because I need them to be the same. But the pose, the default pose of the character will be this. Apply. So now this is just a mesh like this. And in here, apply pose as rest pose. That's what it looks like. Maybe we want the knees a bit like this. And yeah, that's where we orient the feet differently, because this is weird. I'm thinking like putting the feet like this, but they're still not gonna be deforming bones, so it'll be fine. It's just that it feels weird to have the character in his default pose where the feet are supposed to be penetrating the ground. It's wrong, so the feet should be on the ground no matter what they look like and how little purpose the actual feet bones have. So I don't know, match to rig. Right? Oh, this is tilted in a weird way. How do I... Is this about the pole? Actually, the pole is very vertical. Or the roll, I mean. Okay, this is looking way better. Much more stumpy looking shapes here. Yeah, let's bring back, as I said, we're just bringing back armature using this guy. And vertex groups are gonna be used, I assume? Yep, so everything's just back. This is looking a bit odd though, but I guess that's how it worked, that it helped me bend the knees better before. Oh, this is an FK right now on the arm. Ugh! Oh my god, this is looking brutal. By the way, what is this bone doing here? Why is it here? Pretty sure it should be here, like with the tip sticking out of the yolk. Yeah, that looks much more like it. I'm not sure why that happened. So let's see at those skinning bones and weight paint. I guess I should do that in the rest pose still. I wonder if this will make any sense, but I feel like those butt cheeks were following wrong things a bit too much. Like, overall, this main bone should have control over many things here. None of this should bend that much. From the shoulder, not at all. The shoulder is there mostly for changing the angle of the way the arm is located, but not for moving anything. It could almost be not a deforming bone, but I still keep that option on the table. Well, that's looking better. Not perfect, Actually, I expected a much stronger difference. I don't know why it's still bending each other so much. I mean, I guess I should be a bit sharper there. But yeah, what about the butt cheeks? They should, yeah, like, stay intact a bit more like this. Oh, this is kind of cool. So I assume the pole of the arm. Who's your daddy? Cradle rig. Oh, like overall the object or the trajectory, which both of which is not at all what I would want. So let's switch that parent, but the second parent will be not dredge, but the pelvis. So now when I rotate this thing, he's stumping his legs, but the whole like arm system is following the head, which is what I would want in this case, because this arm is not exactly functional. In terms of IK, it will never need to like stick to surfaces, it just needs to be covering the yolk or whatever. Kind of like this, maybe sometimes bringing it closer into the butt cheeks. This is actually working way better than I expected out of the box with the way things move, you know? Well, I did sculpt it to look like it's molded together, and molding together is exactly what voxelized skinning does, so it works in that regard. Oh, this is kind of cool. Actually, it's still affecting the top of the thing because like both bones are influencing this, which is the weird thing. I always feel like it should automatically erase from other bones when I'm adding high influence for one of the bones, but it doesn't do it. There's that normalize button, but it's quite unpredictable to me. I don't quite understand what it's doing. What I'm trying to say is, if we go back to skinning, right now if I select the head, I made this like almost completely red, and really it should be like 100% red. It's actually still not full influence only from this bone, because the shoulder still has this orange color just fine, which is like, okay. So I can switch to this bone and hit normalize. But it becomes more red. It decides that this bone will actually normalize into more effect. And this one will lose effect. Normalize all. No, normalize all does exactly what it takes. But how do I control it? Like, if I add red here, will it normalize into that being blue then or not? Because how do you tell it which direction to normalize in? Normalize pretty much means like, if this is 99% influence from the head, then this bone should only have like 1% left. So in the sum, they would have like 1.0 of influence for each. Otherwise, it's like kind of broken. It will work just fine, but these values don't make a lot of sense. If something's red, but something else is also red, like it's not actually the full influence. So yeah, let's make the influences here much sharper. Like this should go away, so we would actually see a bone bending well. Okay, so this seems to be looking way better now. Oh yeah, now we're actually having like surfaces pressing onto each other. It's not great as well, because it's obvious that they're just overlapping. So maybe a little bit, but also you kind of have to do the shape keys that are, how do you call it? Like right here, it actually like Autorig Pro has this thing, shape keys, tools, corrective shapes. Yeah, so at this angle of the knee, I would come in and like adjust the way these bones should actually squish and not overlap each other. I've never done that in my life. I will probably add that later, but it's not gonna be today. So yeah, that's our guy in the new default pose, which is crazy. Okay, so for the brand pose, money shot, I'm gonna put him on his knees and maybe cover the yolk a bit more. And use my properly oriented finger bones to cover the yolk a bit better. Actually, I can just scale this, yeah. The A-team is here. Okay, I'll probably go ahead and quickly rig these guys. By quickly, I mean without talking too much. So, like, literally no point in Autorig Pro here, right? I wonder though, I can create my own armature. Like, I would hate to create all the structure of the thing and everything. Yeah, I would add the empty armature still. And in here, I can create any of my own basic bones I want. Wait, why didn't I just make it a spine? It's literally a spine and that's it. How do I get rid of all these bones now? Delete all this nonsense and let's just add a spine. There it is. Literally the same thing I was making. Should I like create an actual head as well? I don't know. Maybe spine will have too much constraints on it because it will be bending like an actual spine. All right. Yeah, let's add that cool new bone, Spine Master Controller. That's definitely gonna be useful for this one. It will be just perfect. Stretch and squash. Oh my god, yes. We're getting everything we need in here. Align Root Master, whatever. Do your thing. So yeah, nice bending, nice squishing, and stretching. Perfect. It's squishing the yolk a lot. I'd rather not have it squished at all, but that's how you would make it. Yeah, like I should actually make the spine shorter and introduce one bone as like my head bone, like my own handmade bone. Here it is. So yeah, I'll just make it like this. And let's just reset the bows and unbind and bind again. So in this way, yeah, we're doing much more complicated stuff. But if we go back here, I need to probably parent. And there you go. Now the egg yolk isn't deforming and I have nice bending going on of the actual stem. Looks great. And a little bit of this action will be cool. Although, yeah, I need to make that yolk bone not inherit the scale. None. Yeah, now it's just squished in the actual stem, but not. That's cool. That's what I wanted. This is way more animation than this character will ever require, I feel. Alright, done with the mushroom. Let's name him. This guy is just mushroom. I mean, I did call him kind of mushroom average. We can stick to that. Now for the mushroom big, we'll definitely do the similar approach for the spine right now. And then, like, I definitely want to take advantage of the arm preset. It's the left one this time. But, like, really need just the hand here. We'll see how that goes. I wonder how much of this whole thing, like it does say like only use disable instead of deleting, but what if I like delete it and so it would appreciate these bones as like the bones I made myself? Can I just use these bones as if like they're just custom bones I made on my own? I would really want to do that. Let's just give it a try. Like how deep into the layers already all the bones went. Like here are the twisty, deforming bones of the arm. I'm gonna delete those as well. This is not gonna end well at all. Like, really, I'll see just a bunch of Python errors probably for doing this. Yeah, I guess the only way it could possibly work is if I would delete all the bones from everywhere about this arm except for the reference bones. So that would make it look to this rig as if this was just some reference bones I created myself and that's it. I think I'll be fine using this right now. Like if I match the rig right now. Everything's fine, no errors. Because yeah, it's definitely like the algorithm of this add-on, it definitely reacts to having all those extra bones in those other layers. So this arm is definitely not normal. Like the thumb is really turned away a whole lot. I would only break my hand if I'll try to repeat that. So I guess I'll have this main hand bone oriented here, and instead of just, you know, being like a hand bone, it's now the head bone, the yolk bone. Okay, that's a bit of a brave skinning here. Why are the roots so influenced by the bones that are way higher? Also, why didn't any of the skin at all? Oh, right, that they were marked. If they are made by the plugin, they are marked as not deforming ones, which is of course not true. So yeah, all of ya deform. Now unbind and bind. Now that's a hella deformation. Like still need to adjust that so the roots wouldn't be deforming, but still, this is pretty cool. So what about these guys? I don't think I adjusted their rolls and such. RXX, actually pretty perfect. Well, not super perfect. Oh wow, this bone controls a lot. I mean, this is pretty good, considering that the fingers are almost positioned in circle. So it's good enough. It'll be just useful to have these fingers for, you know, some additional movement. But yeah, some skinning needs to be done. Okay, I guess that'll be enough for me for today. Did quite a lot of work here. The only guy left is this one. I assume it'll be just, I guess, the head bone and 3 tentacles, which will be maybe a spline IK. There are presets like that. If we add a limb, there's spline IK. Bendy bones I won't be using because that's not gonna export to Unreal Engine, but spline IK bones would be probably perfect for these tentacles. But yeah, for today this is it. Did quite a progress. Loving that the spine controllers are just perfect for controlling something simple like this, which makes sense. Simple organisms are pretty much like a spine, or spineless even, but you know, it's a spine, technically. I can rotate the head independently as well. Cool. I can even disable the rotation inheritance so it always stays at the top. But now it looks kind of like it's looking at you. That's messed up. I don't know. We'll see how we want to have it later. But yeah, tell me guys what you think. But for me, this is it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Oh my god, this is just unnecessarily brutal.